The distress beacon pierced through subspace like a scream in the void. On the bridge of the Valdrin Merchant, Captain Zixthor's antenna trembled as his sensors detected the signal. Weak, desperate, unmistakably human. "Another Deathworlder ship," his navigator hissed, mandibles clicking nervously. "We should ignore it." Zixthor's 3 eyes narrowed. The Galactic Council had been clear. Humans were to be avoided. Their homeworld, Earth, was classified as a Class 12 death world, a nightmare planet of extreme gravity, volatile weather, and predators at every level of the food chain. The species that evolved there were equally terrifying, but there were profits to be made in human space. And besides, this signal was from a simple research vessel. What harm could come from investigating? "Set course," Zixthor ordered. "Prepare boarding parties." John Reeves floated in the darkness of the cargo bay, his breathing shallow, conserving oxygen. 3 days since the pirates had taken the ship. 3 days since they'd killed Captain Morrison and locked the survivors in different sections of the vessel. Elsa Chen's voice crackled through his emergency comm, barely audible. "John, are you still there?" "Still here," he whispered back. "You?" "Hydroponics Bay. They haven't checked on me in hours." Her voice carried that edge he recognized, not fear, but focus. Elsa had been Special Forces before joining the research team. "I've been working on something." John smiled grimly in the darkness. Of course she had. The Aurora's Hope had been a simple xenobiology research vessel, carrying a crew of 12 humans studying microbial life in the outer reaches. They'd been an easy target for Zixthor's crew, or so the pirates had thought. What the Valdrin hadn't understood was what it meant to be human. Zixthor stood in the Aurora's med bay, examining the strange equipment with greedy fascination. Human medical technology was crude by galactic standards, designed for bodies that could withstand punishment that would kill most species. But it was valuable nonetheless. "Sir," one of his crew called out, "the human female in the hydroponics bay is moving." "Is she trying to escape?" Zixthor felt a flicker of amusement. "Let her try." "No, sir, she's working with the plants." Zixthor dismissed it with a wave. Humans and their strange emotional attachments to living things. It didn't matter. In another cycle, they'd sell the ship and dump the crew on some backwater station. The humans would be someone else's problem. He didn't notice the environmental readings beginning to shift. Elsa's hands moved with practiced precision, cutting into the modified soybeans, extracting the compounds she needed. The hydroponics bay was a treasure trove for someone who understood chemistry, and she'd spent 6 years in Black Ops before burning out and seeking a quieter life among the stars. Apparently, quiet wasn't in her destiny. "John," she whispered into the comm, "in 15 minutes, the ventilation system is going to flood with a compound derived from capsaicin, earth pepper extract, mixed with an aerosolized version of urushiol. Do you remember your training?" "Poison ivy and hot peppers?" John's laugh was sharp. "Are you weaponizing the hydroponics? Humans spent millions of years building tolerance to Earth's plant defenses. The Valdrin have no such immunity. When it hits, they'll be effectively blind, their respiratory systems in shock. Be ready." John felt his heart rate increase, not with fear, but with the old, familiar rush. Earth hadn't just made humans strong. It had made them adaptable, resourceful, dangerous. "Copy that," he said. "Let's show them why you don't cage Deathworlders." The first Valdrin collapsed 14 minutes later, clutching at his face as his compound eyes began to swell. The airborne compound spread through the ship's ventilation like wildfire, designed by billions of years of evolution to cause maximum pain to anyone foolish enough to consume Earth's plants. Zixthor stumbled from the med bay, his vision blurring, his throat closing. Emergency alarms wailed. His crew writhed on the deck, their exoskeletons offering no protection against a threat that evolved on a world where even the vegetation fought back. Through his failing vision, he saw two figures emerge from the shadows. John Reeves moved like a predator, his frame, compact by human standards, still massive compared to the Valdrin crew. The planet that forged him had gravity 1.3 times what this ship simulated. Every step he took was effortless power. Beside him, Elsa Chen held a makeshift weapon fashioned from lab equipment, her eyes cold and calculating. She'd made sure to protect herself before releasing the compound, a simple respirator from the emergency supplies. "You made a mistake," John said, his voice carrying across the bridge. "You thought we were prey." Zixthor tried to speak, to beg, but his mandibles wouldn't respond. Elsa stepped forward, securing the pirates with magnetic restraints. "The Galactic Council warns everyone about Earth. Class 12 Death World, extreme gravity, hostile environment, apex predators." She looked down at Zixthor with something that might have been pity. "What they don't tell you is what that makes us." John activated the ship's communication array, broadcasting on all galactic frequencies. His message was simple. "This is John Reeves of the Aurora's Hope. We were attacked by pirates. They're now in custody. To any vessel considering attacking human ships, understand this. We come from a world that tried to kill us every single day. Our plants are poisonous. Our animals are venomous. Our weather is lethal. We are the species that survived anyway." He paused, letting that sink in across the stars. "We don't start fights, but we will finish them." 2 days later, a galactic patrol vessel arrived to collect the prisoners. The officer, a dignified Centaurian, reviewed the incident report with evident discomfort. "You subdued 15 armed pirates with pepper spray and poison ivy?" Elsa smiled. "Evolution's gifts, officer. Where we come from, those are just Tuesday." As the patrol ship departed with the humiliated pirates, John stood beside Elsa, looking out at the stars. The message had already spread across subspace networks. The Death Worlders had been awakened, and the galaxy was learning a valuable lesson. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their ships. It was simply being human. End